Have you ever thought about what your business is worth? Something I get a lot. We do what's called a BOV, which is a broker's opinion of value, probably 3 times a week. And I figured I'd just do a quick video and kind of show you what I look for and give you a little context to valuing your business. And if you want your business valuated for free, there's a valuation calculator on our website and something you can also reach out to us directly. Everything is very confidential, and we can tell you kind of what your business is worth today, see what your goal is, and then basically help create a path to that goal, whatever that is. But the first thing is, what you got to know what your multiple is for your industry. It depends on what it is. If it's HVAC, if it's plumbing, if it's e-commerce, if it's cleaning, home services, landscape, whatever it is, you got to know what your multiple is. And then you got to know what increases or decreases that multiple. And then you have to know what is your net, like what's your SDE. So that stands for seller discretionary earnings, or what's your EBITDA, which is your earnings before depreciation, interest, taxes, and amortization. First thing to know is which one's which. If you have a smaller company, typically they use SDE. Smaller, meaning there's not like a set number, but typically less than $1.5 million to maybe 2 million in revenue. You're probably going to have what's called SDE, which basically means your earnings, your compensation will be added back to get that SDE. Your EBITDA is assuming you have a larger business with management built out, which in this case, you wouldn't have your salary added back, or at least not in full. You'd maybe have a partial, depending on what your industry is, but you might have a partial added back salary. So let's just say, let's pick something. Let's say landscape, multiple for landscaping. Well, depends. Are you residential? Are you commercial? More maintenance? Are you more project work? All that factors in to what is someone going to pay for your business. So let's just use, to make the math easy, let's just say you're at $1 million of EBITDA, which means you're probably around the 4 to 5 million revenue range or more. If you're heavy maintenance and heavy new construction, you're probably a lot higher than that as far as revenue is concerned. You might be an $8 million revenue company, but only $1 million of EBITDA. Usually the margins are a little compressed in that industry. So let's just say you're not that. Let's just say you're 50-50 maintenance to project work, all commercial. And let's say you're $1 million, let's say you're 4.5 million in revenue. What is your multiple? Okay, let's see. On the surface, I would say 3.5 to 4x, maybe 4.5x. Now, what can make that go up? What can make that go down? Is the business dependent on you as the owner? How are the contracts set up with your maintenance? What does your backlog look like with your project work, and where do those jobs come from? Are those relationships tied to you? Are they tied to the business? All those factors matter. Let's just say the business is not dependent on you. Let's say all the contracts are ironclad. Let's just say the backlog is consistently at about 2 million, and you can go away for a month and the business does not miss a beat. None of the relationships are tied to you. At that point, congratulations. That is not very common. Usually we have to have people build up to that, but I would say your multiple at that point, you'll definitely you'll be a 4, maybe even a 5x company, which is a $4 million to a $5 million sale. Now, what is that million worth? Was it worth setting up management? Was it worth getting out of the day-to-day? Was it worth having ironclad contracts? Is it worth $1 million for that? I think so. That's some of what we do here at CBH. Is we'll help you find where you are currently in today's market. It's always changing. Typically, it's not changing significantly, but maybe a half a turn up or down, which in the case that I just mentioned is $500,000 up or down. We can tell you what your business is worth today in today's market, and we can also lay out a plan on how to get to your goal if your current state of the business is not where you want to potentially exit at. I always encourage everyone to build to sell, because even if you don't sell, your life's going to be easier. Even if you come to us and you're 500,000 of SDE and you want to sell for 5 million one day. Okay, well, just because you get to the 5 million valuation mark doesn't mean you have to sell. but I guarantee your life's going to be better in the business world, at least, because you built your business the right way. So if anyone wants a BOV, please reach out directly. You can either find us on our website, which is CBH Business Group. My email, I believe my phone number will be in the description. And happy to have a confidential call. What separates us? Like, why should you trust us? You shouldn't. You should do your diligence on us. And I believe we're going to pass that with flying colors. But we are a family-owned brokerage here. And every broker or everyone in this brokerage works on every deal together. We have a CPA who's had his own CPA firm for over 30 years with us as well on the team. We have our qualifying broker, which is my father. Sell his business back in the 2006 was one of the largest, if not the largest, garage door business in the Southeast United States. Bought, sold, and scaled multiple companies as our fourth partner, Santiago. So you have George, Richard, Santiago, and Jesse, and all of us work on every deal together. And so you get four different sets of eyes looking at every deal, giving perspective. Each of us have different skill sets, and so that's not a pat on our back. That's just kind of telling you how it is and what we do. If that works, it works. If not, it doesn't. And so, like I said, if you like evaluation, happy to help and give guidance and assistance and recommendations. And I look forward to the next video.